Welcome to Wild and Finally Fucking Free, the show for disruptors, rebels, and revolutionaries who know they're here to change the damn world. I'm Kylie Patchett, your voice and visibility catalyst, and here we dive into unapologetic truth, magnetic messaging, and visibility that actually feels good in your body, your bones, and your business. We share the stories of the out-of-the-box, neuro-sparkly, creative, witchy wild ones, rewriting how we live, love, learn, and lead. This isn't about being louder. It's about being rooted, resonant, and regulated so you can be real, raw, and ready to roar. If you're done contorting yourself to fit the mold and you're ready to own your voice, your power, and your place in the revolution, welcome home. Let's dive in. Hello there, beautiful listener. This is part 2 of a 2-part series that we did with the Analena Fuchs, a true sidereal human design and gene key reader, intuitive business coach. And she has so much wisdom to share about her whole journey through human design as this most beautiful self-mastery, self-awareness, surrendering to your magnificence tool. If you haven't listened to part 1, go back and listen to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. What I love about this is you already, I know this of you. It's so highly intuitive, but what I hear underneath all of this is this internal guidance system, this body, and what I always use the language of like this wild woman inside of us who knows already our life purpose and where we're meant to be going next. Was your connection with that part of you is clear enough to just be like, well, if this is where I'm being called to go, this is where I'm being called to go. Who am I to argue?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of my superpowers in some way, where I'm like,
Definitely.
that is just so strong, and I have learned also through human design to really work more with my feminine. And that's something also that was very strong in my tropical chart.
Yeah.
The gate 2 is the feminine essence, and that was in my incarnation cross. So somehow that intuitively was such a wake-up call for me. You really need to lean more into this.
Pay attention. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had so many events in my business where when I was really feeling successful and things were flowing is when I always trusted myself. So I had a lot of confirmation and validation, and all these people reaching out to me. I got emails. So it was the first time where it was kind of blowing up in a way, when the universe is like showing you, yeah, you're in the right path.
Yes. Wink, wink, wink.
Well, then, yeah, let me send you all these people. And it was literally coming left and right. And so I just knew I'm meant to be, even though there were already some people years before me that started this, that I'm really meant to bring this forward in a very bold way. And especially, I think one of my strengths that I have, I want to say, is that I really make a good effort not to make anybody wrong.
Yes.
And look, you may still be triggered because I'm obviously more excited about True Sidereal. Like, cannot hold that back, and I'm not going to. That's just how I feel. But I respect whatever you want to do, because human design and anything is teaching us to do what feels right to you. And there may be millions of people that need you as a tropical astrologer, tropical human design person. Because I was there for years. I used it for 3 years, and without that experience, it wouldn't have led me on my evolution to True Sidereal. So
exactly.
We again have to be very careful not now to go out there and make other people wrong that still resonate with a tropical.
Yes.
That is their choice. Their sovereignty to decide at some point, you know what, let me actually check out the True Sidereal. Maybe it doesn't resonate, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to work with both charts. And maybe at some point the tropical doesn't resonate with you anymore. Because we are not static. And
yes.
Yeah, we have a birth imprint, but then we evolve. And even in astrology, we have progress chart, we have soul return charts, and we in human design also we have these transits and everything. It's living and breathing and it's evolving. And I thank Ra so much for channeling this human design and having the courage to share this so far and wide.
Yeah.
I'm not here to maintain it in exactly the same way that he taught it. I'm here to share it in my unique way. I'm here to let it evolve. And even the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, the foundation was the tropical human design.
Yeah.
He studied with Ra. He knew him. He was a representative of human design in the UK.
Yeah.
And at some point, things started to not resonate anymore. He had his own intuitive downloads. And here we have the Gene Keys.
Yeah.
How beautiful is it? All thanks to this experience also with human design.
Exactly.
And everybody creates their own unique way also of how to work with human design. I mean, that's why I actually have a certification now. It's called the Intuitive Human Design Teaching Training.
Yes.
Okay.
I almost got into this year, damn it. Next year.
Yeah. And it's actually right now open again as we speak, because there has been such beautiful response from my clients. They were like, Analena, when are you going to launch it again? I want to shout it from the rooftops. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And the transformation I see in my clients is so beautiful, because obviously I attract people that are no longer resonating with this cookie
Yes.
cutter that often is being portrayed with human design, because there's nothing new to it. Like, how do you see human design? That's what I'm interested in. And what other wisdom you want to combine it with in your unique.
Yeah, and what connections is it making in your own? Because that's what, and the story of going from human design and then developing the Gene Keys is a perfect example. It's taking a system that already exists and then having your own gift layer onto it. Again, I'm back to apple strudel. I'm sorry to say it twice in one episode, but it is.
Now I'm in one.
I'm like, oh God, I don't even know where to get good apple strudel in country Queensland. I'm interested because when you shifted, and you still offer both tropical and true sidereal readings, don't you?
So if somebody wants to do the tropical, I can read any chart.
Yes.
And it's going to be an amazing session. But people, I want to say 99% of my people, they want the true sidereal.
Yes.
So I'm mainly now talking about it, but I'm always like, it depends what
You're
you
open
want.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, sorry.
No, most people, they always tell me like, no, I came here because I trust you, whatever chart
Yes.
you want to work with. So
Yeah. I use a human design chart. I like to look at voice invisibility and marketing communications through the lens of human design, because again, to me, it's pattern recognition, and it's like, here's what I noticed from the hundreds of people I've worked with and they just happen to. And it's interesting, in the clients that I have done any reading for since I spoke to you, and I've been like, okay, and I was so excited we have to talk about the genetic matrix, and that the best, most accurate chart is also now available. But yeah, I've only had one person say, no, I resonate more with my tropical. I'm interested too for you, because when we first met, like Erin connected us, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm having an identity crisis. I have been trying since I've restarted my business to use more of the human design so that I don't, because I created an utter shit show in my first business with Burnout, and just recreating all of the people pleasing, over caregiving things. And I was, trauma crap and whatever. So I've done a lot of work on that, but I also really wanted to be conscious of what is the best, how do I find the best way to do my heart work in the world, but not have it cost me my health or my sanity or my scruple, like any of the things that I will not sacrifice. And one of the best things that you said to me, because I'd been trying like 3-5 generator. Okay. And particularly the generator piece. And I'm just like, my business is starting to feel the same as it was the first time. And I don't want to go down this path. Then I had the download, then we talked, and the best sentence you said to me was, there is no right or wrong chart. It's the one that resonates with you the most. And I was like, and again, I realized I was over identifying with how a 3-5 generator should do business. And I'm like, that is part of the shadow of like, this is not a stick with which to whack yourself. Like, this is a system of better understanding yourself. And so you need to trust your own resonance. And, you know, as you said before, tropical may feel juicy for people right now, and that's totally fine. And then maybe sometime down the track, it won't be the case. Where was I going with that big question? What were the biggest things that you, like, when you shifted from using your tropical chart for your own experiment to then coming across the True Sidereal, like what things kind of surprised you, or what felt the most edgy where you were like, oh, there is an edge to, I was trying to do it this way because that's how I was, you know, designed.
Yeah. So I want to go back to answer that.
Sorry,
You
it was
said
a big
about
long
own experience with the 3-5, because we have this idea, and it's actually great because it's not that human design is putting anything onto you. It's more like it's triggering your own shadows, which is great,
Absolutely.
as you know. Right? And in my case too, so I realized when I saw my True Sidereal chart, so for me, like I shifted from a 2-4 to 5-1. There's also a 6-2 I play with. Both the 5-1 and the 6-2 I honestly resonate a lot with. But the official now is the 5-1. So it felt so much more empowering to me. And I was like, wow, the 2-4 actually, like,
there was limitation.
somehow was an excuse for me to always wait for people to invite me to everything, because the 2-4 is very much a projector energy, like, you know, and not recognized. So I was more seeing how I was more in the shadows of the 2-4 when I actually shifted more into the 5-1. And also right now, so I shifted, interestingly, from a manifesting generator to a generator.
Yep.
And the main thing here is to do what lights you up. In the traditional human design, we have manifesting generator, like you do everything, right? Not everything, but more imagine that more projects going on. And as a generator, it's more a focused approach. Like,
that is the part that did never resonate with me.
So very interesting evolution for me. First, the manifesting generator was such a permission slip to me, because I used to beat myself up for not picking a niche, for trying all this, for experimenting and changing my podcast, all this stuff, right? All 3 lines. So the manifester actually is like a 3-line. The mani-gen, also the manifester part, is 3-line energy. Even though I didn't have a 3-line in my profile, that part was for me the permission to experiment, which I so needed. I was not an entrepreneur since out of college, but it was still fairly new for me. And I really had to learn what didn't work for me to learn also what works for me. And now with the 5-1 generator, what came up for me is also the shadow of the mani-gen, where I was too much over the place, because we can fall into extremes, where I would jump too quickly from things, and I would announce things too quickly, and just how I'm working on my computer and all these different systems, and like I got overwhelmed, and I was too much saying yes to collaborations and all these things. Rather than like, no, I really need to focus. And so for me, the 5-1 generator message was like, yeah, you can be multi-passionate. And you always will be. But girl, you have to focus more. You have to let go of some stuff that's just distracting you. And especially in terms of people pleasing. So that was showing very, very big. So just these last 6 months, I really let go of a lot of things. And I'm in a process of simplification. And I was also doing some other courses that I'm really good at it. But really my full gem is this whole human design thing. So I'm really giving myself at this point in my life and my career this, permission slip to actually keep it easier for me, believe it or not. By just doing the thing that feels so joyful to me.
And that lights you up, right? So it's like,
oh my God,
like that it had to be more difficult than.
Like I can talk about this human design stuff for hours. And this is the 3rd podcast in a few weeks. By the way, none of them was planned. It all came to me effortlessly, equally, and kind of talking about the same thing. And I'm not getting tired of it. That's kind of where I'm realizing it's just like, let's just have a talk show about it.
I'll just keep on talking. You just deliver me podcast.
And it's like, it feels too easy now. And I always tell this to my clients, but I had to learn this for myself, that you really have to lean into this. It's easy for you for a reason. And I keep catching myself over and over again still
Yeah.
that
Complication.
in my head, everybody knows about True Sidereal Astrology and how the different charts and how to do the genetic matrix. I forget that I didn't know at some point. And this is why I'm also so thankful that we're having these conversations, because obviously you're excited to talk with me about it, to add your audience and to get this out to more people, because
Absolutely.
yeah, what's in my head is not in everybody else's head, obviously.
No. And we need the way showers. Like, this is what paradigm shifting requires of us, is speaking up again and again and again and again and again, because there will be people out there, like the kind of closet people that were, in the background, thinking, hang on a minute, well, maybe this doesn't feel completely resonant. And I really want to come back to, well, actually, two things. First of all, we have been conditioned to believe that this money receivership needs to be harder than what it is. And when you're in your genius zone, it feels like breathing, and yeah, things come to you because you are so, radiating like ease and flow. And so then you're matched with that. But the second thing, I really want to come back to what you said, and because you've just given me a massive personal aha about what you said about the like feeling like the 2-4 was almost, was you didn't use the word limitation, but that's what I kind of heard. It was like, I'm happy to kind of stay here. And because I feel similar, the 3-5 to me almost gave me a reason to kind of keep on mucking things up and not like really getting anywhere, kind of thing. I don't know. There was that sort of energy behind the 3-5. And it's almost like I was like being apologetic about like, oh, this is just me, just breaking things, and like almost like what's the word? I can never think of it. Like uh, is it, it's not depreciation, deprecating, is that the right word? That's like, kind of like keeping yourself at a level. And now,
Yeah, at a bag.
yes, not
I
at
don't
your
like that.
potential.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And then, so I've changed to, well, initially in the other sidereal calculations, I was different again, but now 6 to manifester, and that 6, the 3 to the 6, I'm like, oh, there's something in me that's like, oh, this is about owning the lessons that you accumulated and being able to alchemize, and then to share. There's something very different about the energy to me, and I'm like, I do feel that in my body. Like the 3-5 was kind of like, okay, well, I'll just sit back here and I'll just mumble along. Now the 6-2, it feels like it's inviting me to evolve into the next version of myself. I think that that's a kind of energy that it gives me. Yeah. I want to also, Analena, talk about so when you talk about gene keys and getting like everybody has all 64 gates, and like we all have all of the chart. Could you talk to us about the genius codes that you use? Because I really love that way of explaining the shadow and the light of each of the gate. Oh, cool. There you go. If you're not listening, or if you're not watching on video, we have got genius coins right in front of us. Very cool.
So here we have 5. So this is if you have gate 5 in your chart, right? Or even if you have not. And then 35 is the other side. So in the gene keys, we call this programming partners. In astrology, it would be an opposition. It's simply an opposition to the sky.
The geneticist, in me sees that also as like the amino acids on the helix, like they lock together, like that there's a relationship that stabilizes the system. Anyway, could have nothing to do with that. But anyway, that's what I saw.
Here's what I realized. So I have been most fascinated on my human design journey with these 64 gates and then the gene keys. And there's so many different interpretations of these 64 energies and also the Chinese I Ching. And eventually I created my own practical version inspired by all of these wisdom, of course. And I call it now the genius archetypes. And if you have this gate 5, right, I learned through my own contemplations that you may not have the 35 in your chart, but if you're not looking at this, it's very hard to understand this because this is a coin. And well, a coin always has two sides, right? You cannot access the divine masculine without the divine feminine and vice versa, right? So, and this is also a lot of old ancient teachings talk about that, the polarities, everything. We have these extremes, and if we only look at one, then we are more in this shadow of we're looking at it in a very isolated way. And you may not have this energy in your chart defined, but to really understand an energy, you really want to look at the other one, because if you're in the shadow of one, you will be in the shadow of the other. So here we have, so from the gene keys, if I get it right, so 5, I think the shadow is impatient. Yeah.
These are amazing.
The 35 is hunger, I think. When we obviously to get to the next experience, we're never satisfied with everything. And the 35 is very experimental. It's kind of a 3-line energy. 35, I would put just like 3-line. And in the higher expression, we have patience.
Yes.
And we have adventure.
Oh.
So, you still experiment and you have adventure, but in an energy of patience where you don't have to rush. Because also there will be a phase where you have this urge, it's our human addiction sometimes. I need the next. I'm hungry for something more. And I need the next thrill and the next excitement. And again, we're impatient. So, because often that patience is such a hard thing. Like, what does it really mean? But when you can put it into the context of the other side of the coin, which has to do with this constant need for more and more thrill and then
really helps the nuance, doesn't it? Like you get to feel it in a more holistic way, the way that they work together.
And also, I mean, one of the most powerful ones is the 1 and the 2. That's also a coin or programming partners on opposition in the sky. And the 1 is the divine masculine and the 2 is the divine feminine. So, and I have gone through this, right? In my business, in the beginning, I was all masculine. I have to do this and take action and do this again and again, even but it didn't even feel aligned to me. And when I learned that I have to be in the aligned version of the divine feminine in order to be in the aligned version of the divine masculine, that's when everything changed, because I learned that the divine feminine actually has to come first, because that's the receptive. I am receiving. It's above my orientation to my own unique path. And from this place, when, like I'm meant to be doing this true sidereal human design thing, that feels right. This is aligned in the core of my being. And taking action from this place actually feels effortless because it's in the right direction. But if I were in the shadow of the divine feminine, where I'm misoriented, like I'm not listening, I'm not really slowing down enough to really like what feels really right to me.
Yeah. You don't even have that connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then I'm taking masculine action from this place is also going to be in the shadow. It's too much effort. It feels off. You keep getting this external resistance from the universe because it's trying to redirect you.
Yeah, it's like stop
to your aligned way, right? So I don't know, all of these energy, then obviously I have been contemplating them for years and I have written my own interpretations about it, all inspired by this wisdom. And it just describes how the universe works.
Yeah.
It's so rich. And then it connects with these other modalities like Kabbalah and it's my spiritual practice. It's also my connection to God.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I had such a hard time growing up with religion and I find it very fear-inducing and I couldn't connect to it.
Yeah.
And I always had this desire, can we just kind of accept whatever people are believing in? And I cannot say that this is the right and the wrong. I always had a problem with that growing up. And human design for me, what gave me access to this, because it was this more universalized wisdom, at least how I saw it, right?
Yeah.
And it connected me to all this other ancient wisdom, also like Kabbalah and you find this wisdom then also back in the teachings of Jesus, for example. And it's just like, wow, how beautiful that Ra channeled this, because for me, it's this human design thing that helped me connect to all of this.
Yeah.
That
So
makes
cool.
me.
I just love how you're talking like it's spring here on the underside of the world where I am. And there's so many. I've got a big locust tree outside of my office window and there's like lorikeets all over it, which I think you can probably hear in the background. But as you're talking, I feel like we've come full circle to the initial thing, which is like, if we're connecting to modern astrology, which is always this rushing, it is that very masculine without stopping and pausing. And I'm hearing all of the nature outside of my room and I'm like, to me, this is all, it's just coming back to our own nature, being informed by the cycles of nature. And this is why, my science training found me, working in hospitals and working in labs. And I thought that I was going to be part of this like health and well-being thing. And then I found myself in a broken system that really didn't work for people. And so I went and studied traditional Chinese medicine. And that was one of my like, oh, this is a remembering. Like, I get this. I understand that everything needs to be in balance. And this is how the seasons work. And this is the cycles of our own life and the cycles of, feminine cycle each month and all of those things. Like it's the macro and the micro. Like it's all the same. And I feel like, I don't know, the phrase that's in my head is just, it feels to me like human design can be used as this beautiful way of coming home to who you really are. And, that at the heart of it, like what a gift and what a gift for it to continue to evolve, which is also the nature of nature, right? Like nature doesn't stay stuck and stagnant. It's always expanding, but it also has contractions and, changes and shifts and molds over time. It's such a beautiful, it's just a beautiful reminder that we are part of the big picture as well as, I feel like sometimes entrepreneurship, like, we're doing our thing here. And I don't know, I think I'm speaking for myself at the moment. Like I live in a little country town. There's not other entrepreneurs around. So I don't really get, face-to-face sort of connection time with people that are doing similar things. And sometimes it is easy for me to be like, I'm in my office doing my thing and I kind of forget out there and the nature of things. So one of my personal things this spring is I've joined a hiking club. So I have my first hike on Saturday.
I love that.
Yeah, because I knew, I need to move way more than what I am, but also just that nature is just, nature feels like a church to me if I ever had to choose
Me
one.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm too. The older I get, I want to be more connected with nature, and this is also, I think, why I resonate so much with this true sidereal version of astrology and human design, because it's just what's straight up in the sky.
Exactly.
With whatever we have made up with these systems, and it feels the most calming to me, where I no longer have to fix, I no longer have to search for anything.
Yes.
And it also, it gets to the point with human design where I don't really look at my chart that much anymore. I do from time to time. It gives me like huge validation on thing and more as a confirmation. But also, I obviously went through a phase of over-identifying with things. It's part of the game, and how beautiful is that? And
exactly.
wherever you're at on your journey, also know that's perfect where you're at. And like I told you, which thank you for sharing, that was helpful for you, that whatever chart resonates with you, it has a message for you. There's no right or wrong. If other people are trying to tell you you're doing it right or wrong, like, I hope you can dismiss that, because nobody knows how you feel in your body. Nobody does. And that's what I always want to listen to.
Yeah. You're knowing. And anything that pulls you away from that. Yeah.
And like love, one of my mentors, he said that in a beautiful way, like really love for yourself and others is when we can radically accept ourselves and
the word radical. Yes.
this has also to do, like, I am being asked to accept wherever people are at, whatever they believe in. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's probably, we could write a whole book about the need to be right. No, I mean,
Oh, I know.
oh my God. So
Dear.
whatever helps you to find your home in your body,
Yeah.
where you're connected to this. It's really there, this divine guidance. Because when I'm in this zone, when I really follow my genius, it's undescribable. Undescribable.
Yeah. It's a flow state, I find.
It is.
Oh.
And I cannot tell you how things came along or how I did it. I'm not gonna teach you a 5-step process because it fluke. It's really, you're connected to your magic and you're open to receive that whatever is meant for you.
Yeah.
And it's like you're swimming with the current of your unique path rather than trying to force yourself against, because that's why it's unnecessarily hard. And look, we all go through challenges, right? But we can make it unnecessarily hard when we're trying to follow what other people are saying, because that's not your path. And life is going to show you left and right and put all the stones in the way to show you until you get it and you start to trust yourself. And of course, that will bring about an ego death. That will bring about a lot of tests and trials if you recommit yourself. It's gonna make a lot of no sense to the mind, because our mind always wants to have security and wants to have proof before anything that if I'm gonna do this, it's gonna work. Like,
it has to have there's got to be a plan.
Yeah.
If people are listening and like wherever they are on their journey, if they feel like there's something that they just want to nibble on around True Sidereal, I want to cover for them how to get their chart with the correct calculations, because we haven't talked about Athen yet, but well, I know you mentioned.
Yeah.
But, can you talk a little bit about all the different calculations?
Yeah. So one, for astrology, you want to go to Mastering the Zodiac.
Yes.
They have a wonderful software now called True Sky.
I know.
Where you can pull charts. Is incredible. And they have a free version and also a paid one if you want to save charts and stuff. And then for human design, as we are speaking right now, the most reliable resource is Genetic Matrix. And I created a video. I'm going to send you the link to that. You can just put it in the show notes.
I saved it. Asana.
As we are speaking, you still need to have a pro subscription to that. But it's totally worth it if you just get it for a month. And if you work with clients, you want to have one anyways.
Yes.
That software is really amazing. So there's finally a way where when you put these settings in, it's going to work for any chart. Really watch the video, because I'm also going over a couple of things that you have to be.
Yes. That changing back to the
kind. Yeah. So is it perfect? No, but it's so much better than a year ago. We had to manually put values in for every single chart. It was a mess.
Yes.
So yeah, and I hope in the next few months, I'm working also with one other company, that hopefully I will have something on a website where people can just come and pull that chart for free. That's really the goal. Once I have it, I'll definitely let you know. But it's coming.
Amazing. We need to say also, we're talking about a specific True Sidereal calculation that's been developed by Athen. Is it Chimenti or Chimenti? I can't. What's the correct?
Actually, Chimenti. Athen Chimenti. So yeah, he always had a calculation, but he now, this year in July 2025, he published it officially. It's called the midpoint method, and how he's calculating everything. So there was some minor changes to it, but it's now like all fixed.
Yes.
And for the astrology chart, there probably weren't the big changes. But, in human design, because we have gates and we have lines and there's also variables. So with the slightest amount of you have half a degree change.
Yes.
You can become a totally different type in human design.
I did.
And that's also why, I really understand of how the chart comes about and how easily it can change. That's when it lost for me too. Let's not take it seriously. Just because you have one gate of a difference, you can shift from being a generator to a manifestor or vice versa.
Yes.
And people think it's completely different and oh my God, how can it be? But your chart is still very, very similar. It's just that one gate. And again, so I really want to help people to realize this and see more the unique story in the chart than over identifying with that one type or that one profile. Because you have a profile, that's just your sun and your earth placements, but you still have all these other lines.
All of the layers, the apple street.
Yeah. Again.
Saying that. I'm going to call this the Apple Strudel Analena Fuchs conversation.
Oh, and I'm really hungry now.
Sorry. I want to come back to your human design certification as well. So tell us more about that, because I didn't realize it was open. So talk to that. This
Yeah,
out
and
this week. So yeah, let's share.
I actually no, and this is such a funny synchronicity because when we started to record, I was like, oh, I didn't even tell you. Like, man, we're gonna talk about it anyways. So yeah, it's called the Intuitive Human Design Teacher Training and Certification. It's a 9-month journey. I like to go slow because this stuff takes time.
Yes.
You know, it's almost like birthing a new baby or real, fully embodied, widely aligned identity. And I integrate, of course, it's all the teachings, but in my very unique way. It's not how you read it in textbooks. And you also get access to these genius archetypes, these genius coins. There's a beautiful booklet for both the channels and the 64 gates as well. And there's a private community. It's the art of intuitive chart reading, and the deconditioning is a huge aspect of the certification, like the inner work. That's one of my clients' favorites, I find. And so it's here, of course, for you to become your own intuitive human design teacher and reader, right? To help do readings in a very confident way. But it's most and foremost for your own transformation, your own journey. Because the more you embody, when I say your human design, what I really mean is your most authentic self. It's not holding back. You're trusting yourself. You're dropping the people pleasing. You're fully owning who you are. And from that place, you naturally become magnetizing. People are like, oh, what are you doing?
You'll have what she's having.
No, literally, that's what's happening. And you start to magnetize your own aligned people. We call this a soul fractal in the Gene Keys. And from that place, things just unfold in the most magical ways. May take longer than how we want it to be, most likely, yes, because I'm not here to promise you to make X amount of money or do this in 2 months. Like, who am I to know that that's going to happen for you? I'm not God. I'm not, right? I'm just here to support you, live your most aligned life, and whatever your timeline is, that is totally up to you, you know? And so it's a wonderful journey. It's probably the most comprehensive transformation that I can offer. And we also have a community. We have bi-weekly live calls where we're going to do chart readings and any questions that you have. It's often the people you meet there. I mean, we had some very magical encounters in the last cohort. Yeah. It really felt like divinely orchestrated. And so it opens for enrollment it's already open for enrollment right now, but we start with our first live call on October 22nd. But the very last day to sign up is November 5th, before the second live call, because missing one live call is not a big deal. It's 18 total.
And do you want to say a link? We'll put it in the show notes as well, but for anyone who's listening. So
you can go to my website, analenafuchs.com, and when you scroll down to offerings, you just click on the human design certification.
Perfect.
And it will take you there. There's also some very beautiful video testimonials that I interviewed my clients with, because I'm not a big fan of these old school testimonials where it's just like one sentence or like
I do videos as well, because you capture magic in videos. That's
and really sat down with them, and it was also such a beautiful moment for me. And I think there's 5 on them on the website as I'm speaking. Yeah. And just listen to them, you know. These are really people that have experienced it. And anyways, you will know if this is for you. There's no pressure. I'm offering it this time for 33% off the regular pricing, but it's not like a time limit. It's like you sign up this cohort. Yes. That's what it's going to be. And there's also payment plans, paying full 6 months, 9 months, because I do want to make this accessible for people.
Oh, I'm going to go check it out, because when we talked about your last one, you were already kind of a couple of months in, and I was just like, I just don't know.
I know.
Wait, I'm going to respect my own timing. I'm so grateful that you said also this piece about timing, because I do think, you know, the entrepreneur world is full of, you know, promises of very quick fixes and the rushing again, right? I was just having a conversation with one of my clients last night about And I did hear this somewhere, so it's not my novel idea, but I really loved the concept of like all of us have a seed, and some of us are more like sunflowers are going to be quick growing and bloom, and kind of very early in life kind of thing. And some people are like oak trees, and that magic takes a lot longer to develop. And I'm like, I feel like I'm an oak tree. I'm just coming into my own in my 50th. So I really really resonate with the concept of everyone on their own timeline and just trusting, because we started this conversation with this, like, I always feel like people are passing me by kind of thing was what she was sharing with me. And I was like, you're not even on the same, like, you're not on the same racetrack. Like, no one can pass you. Like, you're doing your own, this is you. It's not no one else's like timeline. Can't compare.
And what I find happens when we try to rush it, it's actually slowing us down.
Hurry up and slow down is something I am often saying.
So it's about surrendering your path, and when you do that, it actually becomes accelerated. And then also we see these quantum leaps sometimes happen where you're like, oh, I just don't even know how it happened, because you become an energetic match to that. It already exists in another timeline. It's just like, are you allowing it?
I love this concept. I just recorded it. I've just opened a new year-long program, and we had our opening call the other day, and I did a little like a kind of hypnotherapy kind of thing for them to listen to. But that is exactly what we're talking about, is that timeline, but all of those infinite timelines and possibilities in front of them. And it's very cool. Very cool when you understand the quantum.
And like, the one thing with human design, this is about, like I said, about being your most authentic self. And I think there's some research now out there that authenticity is the highest frequency.
The highest vibration.
So doing this work, also in the certification, like for 9 months, working on yourself, it's about calibrating with authenticity. So just watch the magic unfold. I don't know what that magic looks like for you.
Yeah.
But you better be ready for it.
So cool. So cool. My goodness, you've been such a joy. We're going to have to split this in 2 halves because I have waffled on for a long time, but I just thank you so much. Thank you for saying yes to that knowing inside of you to start, leaning into this work, because I know that the ripple effect is not only rippling through all of us that were kind of like new to the, like, hang on a minute, this doesn't make sense, but all of the people that are perhaps on the cusp of this next step, and we need someone to show the way, right? But if you said no, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the time. I was like,
All right, we will wrap up there. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thank you for listening in. And head to, so Analena is ANALENA and Fuchs is FUCHS, just so you get that spelling right. We'll put it in the show notes. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Everyone, thanks for having me.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. If this episode lit a fire in your body, in your business, deep down in your bones, please take a moment to drop a rating and review so more rebels just like you can find us. And don't keep this goodness to yourself. Share it with your disruptive rebel and revolutionary friends who are ready to roar right alongside of you. Until next time, stay wild, stay unapologetic, and stay fucking free.